Good morning, toldaslovetarot. It is Megan, the Gemini Meg, with a brief Minutes with Meg meeting. So much so I'm not even putting you into my tripod thing. This is about Mercury retrograde, and it really is starting to affect people because I started a whole video for you just now and realized maybe 2 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I'm not recording. If you don't know what Mercury retrograde is, I'm not going to give a lesson. Just Google it. You can YouTube it. Retrograde is when the planet looks like it's going backwards in our sky. The planet does not actually go backwards. But to our vision, a human being on Earth, it looks like the planet Mercury is going backwards. Mercury is Gemini's ruling planet. And affects communication. So just like how I thought I was starting a video and it wasn't even recording, notice the next few weeks, I think it ends on the end of the month. I want to say the 29th, but it starts this Friday. Expect communication issues. And what I mean by that, it could be I told you to be here at 5. I thought you said be here at 2. I don't know how you could mess that up, but that would be an example. Losing your phone, your laptop exploding, losing power right before you're scheduled to have a virtual meeting or interview, sending an email you meant for one person and hitting reply all. Communication is always a big thing with Mercury retrograde, and again, Google it, YouTube it. There's so much information out there. But there's a build-up period and there's a shadow period, and we are in the build-up period. I imagine it like a roller coaster where click, 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 click. We're at the top. You can see down where we're going, but we're still clicking up there. But you're anticipating it. And people might start screaming behind you because they're already anticipating it. That's where we're at right now. Mercury goes into retrograde this Friday. And I told the work women in my group, and they all were like, no, because I've educated them on Mercury retrograde. And when we were in our last Mercury retrograde in October, I would tell them, this is happening because of that. There was a miscommunication with the doctor's office, and this appointment you've been waiting 6 months for isn't yours anymore. Freaking Mercury retrograde. Another thing that happens a lot during Mercury retrograde is they'll say people or places or things come back from the past. I have found this also relates to previous arguments. Let's say you and your boyfriend in the past used to fight about how much he spent on a trip to Las Vegas. It's been years since that trip, and for some reason someone's bringing it up this month. What the fuck? People, it's notorious for bringing back exes or friends in Mercury retrograde. I just heard people you used to talk to, because Mercury is communication. One last thing I would say with Mercury retrograde that, again, Google it, YouTube it. There's so much information out there. Instagram it, Facebook it. Message me if you want to talk more about it. They say don't sign any contracts, don't start anything new, don't sign a lease, don't. I feel it's a big don't make any major life decisions. Don't say yes to the ring, don't say yes to the dress, don't say yes to the venue. Don't book the trip. I just heard don't book the trip because a week later someone could break their leg. That's happened to me when I was a child. My brother to this day will still say I ruined Universal Studios for us. My mom booked a trip to Universal Studios, and that very day I broke my leg. And I came down with mono. And I remember my mom calling Universal and being like, listen, she broke her bloody leg. We're not going to take her down there and have her be in a cast the entire time. So that's an example of something that could happen during Mercury retrograde. Please tell me if you are hearing from people from the past. Keep in mind, Venus is still in retrograde till the end of the month as well. So when you're hearing from that ex that you were deeply in love with years ago, and Mercury and Venus and all the powers have brought them back to you during Capricorn season, you better think long and hard. Feel free to email me and be like, Megan, tell me not to do this and tell me why it's not a good idea, because I will be like, honey boo boo, I know how much you want it. I know how much you think it's best for you, but I really think you should at least wait until the beginning of February before you make any decisions, once everything is out of retrograde and everybody's moving forward. By then we'll be in Aquarius season, and it's always a fun, quirky, weird time in Aquarius season. So 6 minutes on the dot. The Lovers, Gemini, I'm going to take that as I've said what I've needed to say, and I hope you enjoy my minutes with Meg. See you soon.